Hey everyone, it's Les and Elisa. Welcome to Sunday Reflections.
Hello.
We are coming to you from Franklin Basin up Logan Canyon. We've been spending a few days in the woods, so to speak. A little bit of time of doing nothing.
Yes. Which is very well needed.
Yeah. We've been prompted a little bit to do nothing by some thoughts that were shared with us in a business group I'm part of by Dr. Spencer Wade. And he just shared some thoughts about the value of doing nothing. And when we do nothing, some thoughts, some ideas, some rejuvenation, some recuperation can come.
Hmm.
And we experienced a little bit of that actually last weekend because we spent a couple of days in the city doing nothing.
It was a different type of doing
Doing
nothing.
yeah,
Yeah.
and we experienced some of that. Today we're in the woods. We've been up here since Thursday, coming home today, Sunday afternoon, and we've been reminded of a friend of ours back from our college days at Utah State University, Aaron and Roxanne Kilson. They were going to school there at the same time we were going to school, and they became really, really good friends to us and helped us out through a challenging time when he and I ran a business, a lawn mowing business together. And Aaron has been one that's inspired me a lot with his love of nature. He he studied natural resources. He teaches at a college in Minnesota and teaches in the natural resource department, if I'm remembering correctly. And he shares a lot of thoughts about connecting to the woods and how the woods can help us connect to God, connect to ourselves, connect to that grounding nature. And here, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago, he shared some thoughts. He shared a poem by Ralph Waldo Emerson. The poem was called Apology. And essentially, Emerson said, you know, I'm not apologizing because I find a connection in the woods. That's kind of the simple part that I got out of it. Well, it prompted me to write a poem about being in the woods, and I'll share that poem in the write up with you. But we've been thinking about just the time in the woods and away from the normal and away from the city, so to speak, but away from the busyness of life.
Right. Right. And we've also talked about how much work it takes to get to the point of doing nothing because going camping takes a lot of work
It does.
to get here.
And it takes a lot of work why we are here as
Yes.
well.
And doing nothing doesn't mean you're absolutely doing nothing. That just means you're doing something different than you usually do. Taking life at a quieter pace. I mean, when we pulled in, I remember I said, it's nice to be in a place where time doesn't matter.
Mm.
We get so so led by time. Our days are just filled with trying to keep track of time. Time really controls our days and our weeks, and everything. But
Deadlines,
here,
the pressure to get things done on time, to meet somebody, and
yeah, but here we can sleep when we're tired, wake up when we want to wake up, we can eat when we're hungry, we can do whatever feels fun to do. Reading, I've done a lot of reading, writing in journals, played some games. We've gone on a fun journey. We went on a ride in our truck to go explore some more of the woods and some walking, and just mostly enjoyed this beautiful earth that God has given us to help rejuvenate our bodies and souls.
yeah. We're really blessed. We live in the mountains. I mean, the mountains are our backyard. And we were talking the other day. This is really it was our first time to camp in this particular place. It's called Franklin Basin. Back in June, we actually drove in here for the very first time. We thought, okay, we've lived in Cache Valley for over 30 years, and it was our first time to come and see this. And it's just got me thinking about what other things are in our backyards that are in our woods, whatever our woods may be, that we're missing out on, that we're not taking time to see because we get so busy. You shared a thought with me from this book you're reading about distance.
Mm.
you know.
Yeah.
Sure
Well,
that-
I'm reading the book The Zookeeper's Wife, and it's all about World War II time period in Poland, and a wonderful zookeeper who was able to help, and his wife who were able to help a lot of Jews escape from the ghetto that they were pushed into.
yeah.
But this book talks about how a mother in the ghetto had a hard time explaining distance to her child, because distance to them was the edge of the ghetto, which really isn't very far. And she was trying to describe to her child like a field where you can see, you know, just as far as the eye can go. You just can't see the end. You know, it just goes on and on. Or even riding in a train or something, all day trip or something like that. The child could not fathom that, because the child's world was so microscopic in that ghetto. So, interesting concept. I'm grateful I understand. I have some concept of distance. You know, we've been able to see these mountains as far as the eye can see. And we're seeing the fall leaves starting to turn. We've seen some brilliant color, but there's a lot of green still, so it's the beginning of that. But what we've seen has been beautiful.
It has been.
Yeah, and we've seen places that we haven't seen before. They've been, in a way, distant to us because we haven't seen it, even they're in our backyard. But now we've seen it, and we know it's here more and more, and we have a desire to come back. So,
What can you find that may be distant for you? What is your woods that you can escape into for a moment, where maybe time can slow down, or maybe even time can stop a little bit, where some of the pressures of daily life will not be so pressing, even if it's just an evening walk or a morning walk, walking with the sunrise or walking with the sunset, spending time in nature, even if that means going to a park in the middle of the city, or the little bit of backyard that you may have. How do you find a way to get into the woods and to have that connecting moment with yourself, with God, with the earth, with somebody that you love? So we hope you have a beautiful Sunday. We hope that the sounds that you're hearing will be a beautiful hymn of joy and peace for you. It's been a fun time.
yeah.
We love you, friends. We'll see you next week.